Hello friends, I will take next examples on the line integrals, and this 10th one I think. Evaluate the integration 0 to 3 plus I z square dz along the line 3y is equal to x here. So here it is given only along the one line. Okay, it is usually asked for the such type will be asked for the 2 marks. So here it is the line passing through the origin y equal to x by 3. So integration function is z square here. The line is 3y is equal to x here. Along only one path it is asked to find. Therefore, now the given integral is 0 to 3 plus I z square dz. 3 plus I means what? X coordinate 3, y coordinate is 1. 3, 1 it is. Okay. So, along the line 3y is equal to x or x equal to 3y. So, I will convert now dx in the form of, that is y in the form, x in the form of y. You can convert x in the form of y or y in the form of x. Suppose if I take y in the form of x, it becomes 1 upon x upon 3 fraction. That's why what I have done, I have taken x in the form of y here. So x equal to, you have to substitute 3y and dx is equal to 3 dy, and y is from 0 to 1 because y coordinate is 0, 0, 0 means 0, 0 and it is 3, 1. So y coordinate is 3, 1 here. So here it is, you have to evaluate the integral along the line y is equal to, that is x is equal to 3y, okay, or y is equal to x by 3. It is the straight line passing through the origin with the slope is equal to 1 upon 3 here. Okay, this along this line you have to evaluate this integration here. So now z square means what? All of you know that x plus iy whole square, x square minus y square plus 2i into xy, and dz is dx plus I dy here. For every example, if it is in the form of z, you please convert that z in the form of x and y. And now you multiply these two, okay, or here itself you can substitute the value of x in the form of y. So I will substitute now x is equal to 3y, so x square is 9y square minus y square plus 2i, and this x is 3y into y plus dx is equal to 3 dy plus I into dy here. Okay, everything I have converted to y, and y coordinate is 0 to 1. So now 9y square minus y square is 8y square, and it is 3 into 2, 6i into y square, okay, and 3 plus I into dy here. Therefore, between these two again y square is common. It is 8 plus 6i, okay, and it is 3 plus I dy. So these two are constants, take it outside. Remaining is just 0 to 1 y square dy here. Therefore, integrate 0 to 1 y square dy, it is y cube by 3, 0 to 1 itself. Therefore, 0 to 1 means it is 1 upon 3. Therefore, it is 18 plus 26i, 1 upon 3 here. So, this is the value of the integration. And next in the chapter, that is here in this chapter itself, after the theorem, if the function is analytic, it is integrable, and its value in that will be nothing but z cube divided by 3 by using usual integration and substitute the value 0 to 3 plus I, that is 3 plus I whole cube divided by 3. So if we simplify 3 plus I whole cube divided by 3, answer will be 18 plus 26 I here, means 3 plus I whole cube. So this is what? 3 cube 27, I cube is minus I, and plus, that is 3 square 9 into I, plus it is 3 I square into 3, it is 9 I square, means minus 1. So if you simplify this, 27 minus 9, you are getting 18, okay, and 3 into 9, 26, sorry, 27 minus 1, 26 I here. So you got 18 plus 26i into 1 upon 3. Means if you study that theorem, if the function is analytic, it is independent of the path, and the value of the integration is just casual integration, and substitute the limit in the place of z. So z cube by 3 from 0 to 3 plus I, in the place of z, you have to substitute upper limit minus lower limit, just like a real integral. And if you have to evaluate, you are getting this answer here. Okay. Next one. Evaluate z bar dz over the curve C, where C is given by the line joining the point z to 0, z equal to 0 to z equal to 2i, and z is equal to 2i to z is equal to 4 plus 2i. So it is having the two distinct points, that is the line segments. C is given by two line segments. One is this OA, okay, and another is this AB here. So the point moves from origin to this along this and this, not directly this line. Okay, that line also some it may be asked, but here they have given this line here. So you have to find integration over C. Z bar is, it is OA plus AB you have to write. Okay, therefore now integration over Z bar, so integration over C, that is OA plus AB here. Then OA is what? OA is the line. OA is the line from x is equal to 0 to it is there. Hence, it is along the y axis. Along the y axis, x is 0 you are having. So, along this x is equal to 0. So, z becomes z0 plus iy means just it is iy, and dz is I into dy here. And y is from 0 to 2 itself. Y coordinate is from 0 to 2 you are having, because here in this, here y coordinate varies but x coordinate is 0 itself. Therefore, along the line AB, along this line AB, okay, so in this line AB, y is fixed. Y is 2 for all these points because it is 2 itself, and therefore you are getting z as x plus 2i. X will be different. X differs here, here and so on. So x plus 2i, okay, that is dz is equal to just dx you are getting. Differentiation of 2i is 0 and x varies from 0 to 1 here. Okay, therefore, in the first integral you are converting z in the form of y. Okay, x you have to write in the form of y, and the second integral you have to write in the form of x. Therefore, now 0 to 2, z bar means what? X minus iy. All of you know z bar means x minus iy, and along this x is 0, therefore it becomes minus iy, and dz is I into dy plus, and x coordinate is 0 to 2, because I told already it is y coordinate is 0 to 2 along OA, and x coordinate along this is from 0 to 4. Therefore, I am writing 0 to 4, and here it is z bar is x minus 2i. Okay, therefore you are having x is equal to x itself and y is 2, so it becomes x minus 2i here, because here z bar is x minus iy. So along the line OA it becomes 0, 0 minus iy along OA here, and along this OB x as it is and y is 2, therefore 2 it is along AB. That's why I have written x minus 2i, and here it is minus iy here. Then, so here y in the form of y I have written, here in the form of x. Okay, therefore here the coordinates are for y here 0 to 2, coordinates for x 0 to 4. So integration of I into minus I into I is minus I square is plus 1. Integration of y is y square by 2, 0 to 2. And integration of x is x square by 2 minus 2i into integration of 1 is x 0 to 4. Therefore, substitute the limit y square 4 by 2 to itself, okay, plus x square by 2. 4 square means 16 by 2 is 8, okay, minus 2i into x means 2 into 4, 8i. For lower limit, you are getting 0. So, it is 10 minus 8i you are getting here. Therefore, here integration of this is equal to, it is 10 minus 8i here. This function is not analytic. That's why you cannot write the integration directly. You have to use this procedure. Then next one. Evaluate x square minus iy square dx dz along the curve C. y is equal to 2x square from 1, 2 to 2, 8 here. This is the curve joining the points 1, 2 and 2, 8, and this is the parabola y is equal to 2x square. So now curve is given, function is in the form of x and y itself. Dz you just write dx plus I dy here. So now along the curve y equal to 2x square, dy is 4x into dx here. So wherever y will be there, you please substitute that as 2x square. 1 to 2, and coordinates, the limits for limits under integration in the form of x coordinates, it is 1 and 2, because here points are given as 1 to 2, 8. So x coordinates are from 1 to, x coordinates are given here from 1 to 2 here. So you have to write x coordinates 1 to 2, okay, x square minus I into 2 x square whole square, because here it is y square is there, and in the place of y 2x square you have to substitute, okay, plus dx, and here dy, I into dy is 4x into dx, then it is x square, I and 2 square is 4, x square whole square is x raised to 4, plus dx is taken outside, 1 plus 4i x, and it is common. So you can write now, multiply these two, x square, okay, plus x square into 1 x square, okay, and minus x square into I into 4x, sorry, x square into 1 x square, minus I into 4x raised to 4 into 1 is minus I 4x raised to 4, and then multiply this with I 4 into x. So x square into I into 4x, it is 4i x cube you are getting, okay, 4i x cube you are getting, I into 4x raised to 4 into I 4x you are getting as I into I square minus 1 is plus 1 you are getting, 4 into 4 16, x raised to 4 into x raised to 5 dx you have to write. Then integrate, okay, you have to integrate all these things, x cube by 3, and here it is x raised to 4, x raised to 5 upon 5 with minus 4i, and I into 4 x raised to 4 upon 4 plus 16 x raised to 6 upon 6 from 1 to 2, and substitute first upper limit and then lower limit. So it is 8 by 3 minus 4i into 32 by 5 plus 4i into 16 by 4 plus 16 into, that is 64 by 6, minus substitute 1 by 3 minus 4 into 1 by 5 plus 4i into 1 by 4 plus 16 into 1 by 6. Then you please subtract all these in these. Okay, therefore 8 by 3 minus 1 by 3, 7 by 3 minus 4i, 32 by 5 minus plus 1 by 5 minus 31 by 5, 4i is common, 4i is again common, plus 16 by 4 and minus 1 by 4, 15 by 4, plus 16 is common, 64 by 6 minus 1 by 6, 63 by 6 here. So adding all these, so now 7 by 3 and 16 into 63 by 6 is 504 by 3. So I will add first these two. Okay, 7 by 3 plus 504 by 3, 511 by 3, and 4i 15 by 4 minus 4i 31 by 5. You are getting a just, that is this they have solved it. 4 cancelled, 59 they are written first. 59, and this is nothing but minus 124 by 5i. So totally this is same, and this becomes 49 by 5i here. So this will be the value of the integration. Complex, you are getting complex number only. Integration of the complex valued function, you are getting complex number here. So these are some line integral examples I will take, and sometimes usually they will ask question for only 2 marks, and not they will ask much, only one path they will mention and ask to solve it. Okay, and maybe may not be here, not compulsory question, but anyhow you have to know the procedure how to solve the line integrals. Okay, so next I will take properties of complex line integrals here. So already you know the properties of definite integrals for the real variable function f of x. Same type here also you are having, but in case of real variable you are having a to b, but in the place of a to b you are having the curve c here. So integration of k into f z dz over the curve c is k into integration of f z dz, where k is a constant. Here also in case of complex integration you can take k outside here. Then integration of sum of the functions is sum of the integrals. So integration of f z plus gz dz is integration of f z plus integration of zz. And suppose minus is there, you have to write minus. Okay, and integration of f z dz over the curve c is integration of f z dz over the minus c with minus sign. So this property is just similar to, and where the anti-clockwise direction of c is positive here. Usually See, in case of complex analysis, you please remember curve, path of the curve is taken always in the path of anti-clockwise direction, not in clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction will be taken as C here. This is taken as C. Suppose if you want to take this as opposite direction, that time you have to take this is minus sign and this direction also minus C here. Okay. So this direction is taken minus C this time. Clockwise direction, if you consider, it is taken as the minus C, because in case of real variable integrals, you know already, a to b fx dx. A to b fx dx is equal to minus of b to a fx dx. Same type. Here also it is same type. Integration c f z dz is minus of minus, okay, integration f z dz over minus c. Over minus c is a negative direction. It is clockwise direction where c is anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Then integration of the f z dz over c. This is c here. Mod of this is less than or is equal to integration of mod f z mod dz here. So same as in case of Riemann integration, I think last sem you studied integration of mod of integration fx dx is less than or is equal to integration of the mod fx dx. But here you are writing same integration of the mod f z into mod dz you have to write. Okay. So it becomes real. And if C is the curve consisting of parts like C1, C2, C3 and so on, then integration f z dz over C is integration f z dz over C1 plus integration f z dz over C2 plus integration f z dz over C3 and so on. In case of function of, that is already you know that, real variable fx, you have taken a to c fx dx plus c to b fx dx. Same type. Okay, if c is a value in between a and b, you have written some of these two integrals as this. In the same way here, suppose if it is a curve now, this full triangle you have taken as a closed curve, then it consists of, this is c1, this is c2, this is c3. Then this full curve is c here. So integration over this c is over c1 plus over c2 plus over c3. Suppose one more curve if it is like this. So this is the curve c1, this is the curve c2. Okay. So here it is total will be c, then it is c1 and this is c2. Then you can write this also as integration f z dz over c1 plus integration f z dz over c2 here. Okay. In this way, if it is having many parts, suppose if it is having parts like this. So here it is c1, this is c2, this is c3, this is c4, this is c5. Then integration over this you are getting as c1 plus c2 plus integration over c3 is integration over c4, integration over c5 here. Like this you can split this integration into some of these integrals here. Okay, this you are using in the theorems next. Then one theorem you are having, an upper bound of complex integral. Okay, this is the form of theorem. If the function f z is bounded above by m and c the curve of length L, then prove that integration mod of integration f z dz or the curve c is always less than or equal to m into L here. Okay, here it is given the function is bounded. Already you know when the function is said to be bounded in case of Riemann integration. So in the same way here also the function f z is said to be bounded if there is a positive real number m, so that mod f z is less than or is equal to m here. Okay, therefore this m is a positive real number. So let f z be bounded above by m, and hence for all z and c, okay, mod f z is less than or is equal to m here. This is the curve. Suppose if you take c, then all the values on this curve, all the values of z on this curve, mod of f z should be less than or equal to m. Then you can say the function is bounded above here. This is by the definition. And length of the curve c is given as L. Already in the previous class I think I have given, soon after the definition of Riemann integration of f z, first principle, I have given that integration of mod dz, okay, over the curve c is length of curve here. I have given that is equal to L. So I have proved it why it is L, and by using that I have written integration of mod z is equal to L here. So these two you are using in this. So by using this property, mod of integration f z dz is less than or equal to integration of mod f z into mod dz. That property you have to use from the property of complex line integral. Okay, this one. From the one of the property of the complex line integrals we have. Yes, we have mod of integration f z dz over c is less than or is equal to c into integration of mod f z integration of dz here. Therefore, this c and mod f z is already less than or is equal to m and mod dz, you write, and this m is constant right outside the integral into mod dz over c. But integration of mod dz over c is length of the curve c, and that will be given L. Therefore, you can write m into L here. Therefore, in this way, mod of integration f z dz is always less than or is equal to m into L if the function f z is bounded. So, because it is called as upper bound of the integral, means this integral is less than or is equal to some finite number, and hence you can say m into L is an upper bound for this. So, that is why this is, sometimes this theorem is called as upper bound of an integral here. Okay. Then, now the theorems on complex integrals starts. So, actually this unit is complex integration. So, and almost this chapter includes the theorems which are very simple, and usually examples are less. Okay, because same examples we are doing in last unit. Therefore, here we are not concentrating much examples on this. Here and there I will give the example, particularly if it is asked, you have to, that is, solve. Now, first one, Green's theorem. It is having only statement. You are not having the proof for this because you are using the statement in the next theorem. So, Green's theorem in the plane. What is the statement of this? If the function fxy, sorry, it is not f, p it is. Function pxy and qxy be two continuous functions having continuous first order partial derivatives in a region D, consisting of points within and on the closed contour C of D, then integration p dx plus q dy over C is equal to double integration dou q by dou x minus dou p by dou y dx dy over the region D here. See here, what are the given conditions? P and q must be continuous functions, and also their partial derivatives exist and they are also continuous. That's why pxy, qxy be two continuous functions having continuous partial first order derivatives or possessing first order partial derivatives in a region D, consisting of points within and on a closed contour C of D. Then means here it is, I will explain that. This is the complex plane. In that, this is the curve C. Okay, and this is the region bounded by the curve C here. This is the region D. So the function is analytic within this as well as on the boundary here, within and on the closed contour. So this is C. So within as well as on the closed contour means function is analytic, means it is differentiable. Nowhere it is infinity at all the points within C as well as on the boundary here. So this concept you are using usually in all the theorems. So it is analytic, means it is differentiable. Usually that can be verified. It is not equal to infinity for any value of z within as well as on the boundary here. Okay. Then if it is so, then statement Green's theorem states that integration of p dx plus q dy over C must be equal to double integration of dou q by dou x, means partial derivative of this with respect to x minus partial derivative of the first one with respect to y dx into dy here. Okay, this is the double integral, and proof it is there, but you are not having that, it is out of the syllabus. So this is the statement of Green's theorem. Usually they will not ask this one, but you are using this one in the next theorem. This is a very important theorem. From this your theorems will start. Okay, because here totally I think from including this one totally 7 to 8 theorems we were having. Among them compulsory they will ask you 2 theorems for the 5 marks. Okay, and all of them are very simple, not lengthy theorems. So what is the statement of Cauchy's theorem? Usually they will ask state and prove Cauchy's theorem. Here there are 2. One is Cauchy's theorem for simply connected region. Another is Cauchy's theorem for multi-connected region. So here simply connected and multi-connected has come. Okay, I told already in the starting what is simply connected and what is multi-connected. So one day curve quadrilo, it is always simply connected. More than one curve if it comes, it is multi-connected. So here, if a function f set be analytic at all the points within and on a closed contour C, then integration f set dz over the curve C must be equal to 0 here. You please remember, if the function is analytic at all the points within and on a closed contour C, then integration f set dz over the curve C must be equal to 0. Just I will take one example here, integration of z dz, okay, over the closed curve. Closed curve means A must be equal to B. So if I take A equal to B, that is A and B, yeah, all of you know that integration is B square minus A square by 2. But if the curve is closed, then B must be equal to A, so the answer becomes 0 here. Therefore, why the function Z is analytic. You know already that Z polynomial functions, okay, and all exponential functions, they are all analytic. So if they are analytic and if the curve is closed, within that integration is 0 here. So this is the concept here. So this is true for all analytic functions. So this you have to prove. While proving this theorem, you have to use the Green's theorem. Okay, and it is very easy to prove. So now you have to write. Please remember a statement. If the function f z is analytic at all the points within and on a closed contour C, then integration f z dz over the curve C must be equal to 0. If it is not analytic, we don't know the answer. But if it is analytic, you write the answer 0 here. So now f z is uxy plus ivxy be analytic within on a closed contour C. Okay, see, this is the closed contour C. Okay, it is a closed contour means it is a simple closed curve, smooth curve, and this is the region bounded by C here. So the function is analytic at all these points as well as on the boundary here, and this region will take as D. D will be the region bounded by C here, and this is not having any holes, so it is a simply connected region here. Okay, therefore now integration f z dz is u plus iv dx plus I dy. F z dz, in the place of f z u plus iv you write, and dz is dx plus I dy, and you multiply these two, get the real part, integration u dx minus v dy. Okay, u dx, I into I is minus 1, v into dy, it's the real part, and plus imaginary part I u into dy plus I into v dx. So please multiply and write real and imaginary parts. And integration of the sum is sum of integrations. I will take integration separately for this term and plus for this term. Let it be 1. Next. Now as function f z is analytic within C on its and on its boundary, the function u and v are continuous and possessing first order partial derivatives in D, because by using necessary and sufficient condition for function to be analytic. If the function is already analytic, then CR equations are satisfied and the first order functions are continuous and first order partial derivatives exist there. It is by the necessary and sufficient condition for function to be analytic. Therefore, here the conditions are satisfied. Means what? F z is analytic means u and v are continuous and first order partial derivatives exist and CR equations are satisfied. Okay. Hence, by using Green's theorem. So these are u and v are satisfying the conditions of Green's theorem. Therefore now Green's theorem states that integration of p dx plus q dy over C must be equal to dou q by dou x minus dou p by dou y dx dy over D. So this same I can use for first one, this u dx plus minus v dy. This is q is what here? This minus v dy can be written as plus of minus v dy. Therefore, p is u, q is minus v. So this is equal to double integration of dou of minus v by dou x minus dou p is dou u by dou y dx dy. But it is dou of minus v by dou x is what? Minus of dou v by dou x. But what is minus of dou v by dou x by using CR equations? Dou u by dou y here. Therefore, dou u by dou y minus dou u by dou y is 0 itself. So, you are getting the first value 0 here. Therefore, here this is, that is minus of dou v by dou x and minus dou u by dou y, but minus of dou v by dou x is dou u by dou y by using CR equations. Therefore, dou u by dou y minus dou u by dou y is 0 and double integration of 0 is 0 itself. Please remember, integration of 0 is always 0 itself. Okay. Therefore, you got the first value means this integral. First integral in 1 you got as 0. Similarly, you take next second integral. Similarly, second integral u dy plus v dx. So, here I write first v dx and then u dy. So, p is v, q is u. Therefore, here what is Green's theorem states? This Green's theorem states that dou u by dou x minus dou v by dou y dx dy here. This is equal to double integration dou u by dou x minus dou v by dou y, where p is v and q is u. Okay. Therefore, you are getting this again by using CR equations. Dou u by dou x you keep as it is and dou v by dou y is minus of dou u by dou x. Therefore, dou u by dou x and dou u by dou x get cancelled. So, you are getting the answer 0 and double integration of 0 is 0 itself. So, these 2 and 3 you substitute in 1. Substitute 2 and 3 in 1. So, it is integration of f z dz over the curve C. 0 plus I into 0, you are getting 0 itself. So, the value of this integration is 0 here. Thus, if the function f z be analytic at all the points within and on a closed contour C, integration of the function should be 0 here. So, this is very important because sometimes examples are also by using this you can solve it. You just see one example I will mention, integration dz divided by z minus 1, where C is the curve, C is the circle, mod z is equal to, I will take it is 4, mod z is equal to 1. That's why in the bridge course I told what about the equation of a circle, whether the point is inside or outside. Here it comes now. So, you have to remember. So, here z minus 4 means this function is f z, 1 upon z minus 4 is f z, and 1 upon z minus 4 is f z means, but at the point z is equal to 4 it becomes infinity. So, it is not analytic at the point 4, only at the point 4. If that point 4 is not inside this circle, inside that circle you can say the function is analytic. See here, mod z is equal to 1 is what? Circle with the center at origin and radius as 1. Therefore, distance from 4 to this is equal to 4 itself. 4 means outside this point z is equal to 4 lies outside the circle. So, inside this circle there is no point at which the function is infinity. Therefore, at all the points the function is analytic. Because these are very important examples I will take in the next class. Therefore, this function is analytic inside C. Therefore, the answer is equal to 0 here. Therefore, value of this integration is equal to 0 by using Cauchy's theorem here. Yes, I hope you followed it. It is a very important one. That's why you please just go through the bridge course. What about the equation of a circle and whether the point is inside or outside and so on here. Okay, suppose if it is z is equal to mod z is equal to 5, that time you can say this point lies inside the circle. In that inside the circle means in that region the function is not analytic, answer is not equal to 0. So, if answer is not equal to 0 means what is the value of that integral, that comes in the next theorem. Okay. So, in this way please remember, if the function is analytic within the region bounded by C, then the value of the integral is always 0. If that no point is there inside C at which it becomes infinity, then it is analytic. Suppose the point lies inside C at which it becomes infinity, then the answer is not equal to 0 here. Because for the 2 marks usually they will ask evaluate the integral, okay, over C, and usually for all these next theorems examples always the curve is closed. Okay, it may be a circle or it may be any other curve, but almost all the examples are having the circle itself as a curve here. Okay, yes, I hope you followed this theorem. You please practice it, and because it is a very important theorem. Similarly, we are having next the multi-connected reason, simply connected and multi-connected. And before going to take Cauchy's theorem for multi-connected, I will take how you can reduce multi-connected to simply connected. Okay, thank you. And please, I am reminding you, if you are not filled the student satisfactory survey feedback, please click on the link and please fill it and submit. Okay, thank you. Still then, you please be safe at home and healthy at home. Thank you.